Welcome back to the channel, RacerX here, and today I want to talk about Dodge and their upcoming offerings for 2024. And as many of you are well aware, all of their 2024 last call model Chargers and Challengers have rolled off the production line. That production line has been closed. All those cars have been delivered to dealerships and they're sitting out there on the lots, and there's a whole bunch of them. We actually just talked about that in my last video. So for 2024, we know we're getting the Hornet. We know those cars aren't really selling. And we have the Durango, which, you know, it's a big SUV. It's been a staple of the Dodge lineup for quite some time. Really no surprises there. But we're all awaiting the news early in March of their 2024 Chargers. And we do know quite a bit about that thing already. We know we've got an EV coming, most likely a gasoline-powered offering as well. And I want to talk a little bit more today, not only about those, but about another offering that could be coming that might be really, really cool. So it should be a lot of fun today. If you guys are brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe right over here in the corner. Hit the notification bell if you guys want to be notified when my brand new content comes out. And you can follow me at RacerX New. That is my brand new Instagram that I had to open because my other account got hacked. So go follow me there. And with that said, off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
My partners over at Dream Giveaway are doing an epic contest right now on a two-car giveaway, both of them Hemi equipped, an old school and a new school offering, a 1971 Charger Super Bee and a 2023 Charger Hellcat that has been converted into a Hell Bee. And boy, these things look absolutely fantastic. And right now, if you guys enter my code RacerX, you get double the entries for the same amount of money. So go check out Dream Giveaway. Their website is absolutely amazing. They're doing an awesome giveaway on a Demon right now as well. I've already entered for both of these two cars. I can't wait to see who wins. Matter of fact, if one of my subscribers wins one of these contests, I mentioned to you guys that I would do a dedicated video on you and your brand new car. I absolutely would love the opportunity to do it. So guys, if you haven't entered already, go to Dream Giveaway, enter RacerX, and enter to win. And I hope one of you guys gets to do a video with me. Make sure you guys get in your entries right away for that Super Bee drawing, because that's coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So very soon, and this is really kind of your last chance to go get your entries, and I really hope one of you guys wins. Now, speaking of very soon, March 5th is the day that Dodge has circled on the calendar to show us all of the details surrounding their 2024, most likely a 2025 model year Charger. And of course, they showed us this car as a concept all the way back at Speed Week in August of 2022. So that's been a year and a half now, and it's been nothing but speculation ever since. And yes, they gave us a lot of last call stuff, and we kind of saw all that at Speed Week as well. And then of course it culminated with this bad boy, the Demon 170. But as I mentioned, all those have rolled off the production line, and now it's like, what is to come from Dodge? Well, they've already released a series of teasers telling us basically what the lower horsepower trims are gonna have, right? So you've got three different tiers of power. It starts out at 455 horsepower for their lowest trim in the Daytona. So all of the electric Chargers are going to be called the Daytona, and then you're going to have the regular Chargers most likely, which will be gas powered, which we'll talk about here in a second. But it starts out at 455 horsepower. They're going to have two direct connection stage kits, stage 1 and stage 2. Each one of those will add an additional 40 horsepower on the fly to those vehicles. So the second stage, 590 horsepower is where it starts. And once again, you can bump it up with a stage 1 a direct connection kit, 40 horsepower. Stage 2 would give you an additional 80 horsepower, and so forth and so on. And it has been speculated, of course, on the price. I think they're going to be right around $50,000. I've seen multiple articles talk about the base price on the Daytona will be right around 50. For that second tier option, it's going to be right around 60, and some have speculated around 90,000 for the Bad Daddy Banshee. We still don't know the horsepower numbers on there. We do know there's a Maserati out there using that same 800 volt system that is rumored to make 1200 horsepower. So it's very likely that this Banshee is going to be very, very fast and all-wheel drive. We don't know if the lower trims are going to be all-wheel drive, but here in the next few weeks, 3 weeks from basically today when I'm making this video, Dodge is going to tell us all about this. And I think there'll be a few little surprises here on the electric car. A lot of people are really just don't care about the electric car. I'm actually looking forward to them telling us more about the gasoline-powered option. Now, there have recently been lots of photos circulating the internet of the new Charger actually testing out there on the street. And it does look like that is the EV version, but you can see the new body lines of the car, and they do look ever so slightly different than the car that they showed us at Speed Week and at SEMA, that EV that's just been out there all over the internet. And the back of the car, I mean, the car just looks a little bit different. And before that, we saw different photos that were shared with us that actually show the chassis of the car and a trans tunnel. Well, you're not going to get that obviously with an EV, a completely different setup, which then led us to believe that yes, they were going to have a gasoline powered version of this car, and they've already been talking up the Hurricane. So I mean, there's a 99% chance that a Hurricane is going to go into the new Charger as well. They're not going to call it the Daytona. It'll probably just be called the Charger or the Charger SRT, whatever you want to call it. It won't be called the Daytona because it's not electric. And I've actually driven the Hurricane engine in the Wagoneer. It's already out there, so you could literally go drive one of these Grand Wagoneers and you could see what the Hurricane is capable of, and it actually feels very, very impressive when you're sitting behind the wheel of the Grand Wagoneer. And mind you, that is the upgraded engine in the Grand Wagoneer. The base engine is actually the 6.4 Hemi, and believe it or not, the 6.4 Hemi feels slow compared to the Hurricane. And after talking with the guys at Direct Connection and Dodge, that is only scratching the surface of what the Hurricane will do. And this is a more modern chassis. It's a much lighter car. It's a little smaller. This new car with a Hurricane in it, if it comes out at 540 horsepower or 550 horsepower, it will be unbelievably fast all-wheel drive. I mean, there's going to be some really neat things about this, and I would not be at all surprised to see Dodge also show us a Hurricane-powered Charger in their release coming up here in just a few weeks. So I definitely feel like not only is the EV information going to come, but do not be surprised whatsoever if they show us a Hurricane in the new offering as well. And now to the really interesting thing. I've been having multiple conversations behind the scenes trying to get more information out of Dodge and Dodge sources about not only the EV version, but the gasoline powered car. I'm really curious about the Banshee. How much horsepower is that thing going to make? Will it make as much as the Maserati? How much is it really going to cost? How much are these direct connection stage kits going to cost? Are they really easy to install? Are they fly by wire like a Tesla, so to speak? A lot of unanswered questions there. And on the gasoline powered side, that has me equally, if not more, intrigued. I really like the Hurricane engine. I know not everybody does because it's not a V8, but it is a very capable engine. And I think in terms of speed, it's going to make something like a 6.4 Hemi actually look slow. As I've mentioned, I mean, that is the upgraded engine in the Grand Wagoneer, and it is very, very capable. But they could turn this thing up to like 700 horsepower and give us a Hellcat offering as well. But how much will that car really cost? Is the car going to come out at 550 horsepower? There's so much. It's going to be all-wheel drive, or they're going to make it rear-wheel drive like what we've always seen in the past. So the possibilities are endless. So on the 5th, we will know, and I think they're going to give us information not only on the Daytona, the EV, but hopefully on the gas-powered car as well. I think that is coming. And one of the other things that kind of came up in conversation with multiple people now, and I do firmly believe this, that Dodge is tinkering with the idea of putting the Hellcat engine into this 2025 Charger offering, which I think would be absolutely amazing. Now, before you guys go nuts, I want to just talk about a couple quick things and qualify this. One, Dodge has not confirmed this with me. So I don't want you guys to think, oh, Dodge called RacerX and no, that did not happen. And like I said, at this point, I think they are just tinkering with the idea of doing this, but I certainly think they could. If you really look at that trans tunnel and everything about that car, I firmly believe that they could figure out a way to put a Hellcat engine in it. And keep in mind, you have the TRX out there that still has a Hellcat in it. You have the Durango for 2024 that still has a Hellcat engine in it, and these engines are being manufactured in Mexico. And yes, I realize that they're retooling the Brampton assembly plant where all of these cars came from, so they're not being manufactured anymore, the Hemi-powered L cars, so to speak. But there's no reason that Dodge couldn't take a Hellcat engine that's built at the Mexico plant and stuff it in to this new Charger. At least I firmly believe that they could do it. Now, will they? We'll have to wait and see. If they do end up doing it, very, very limited production run. They will not make many of them. The EPA pressures are too high. They could only make a few of them until like the regime changes. If our government has a change at the top, that really could open up the playbook for Dodge, so to speak. I'm not a political channel. I won't go into all that, but it could, spell a different future for Dodge if things were to change, if circumstances were to change. But circumstances being what they are, A Hellcat powered 2025 Charger is not outside of the realm of possibilities. I know I told you guys that maybe wouldn't happen. And if it does, like I said, it's going to be almost impossible to get one because they are going to make next to none of them. But how cool would it be to see a Hellcat go into that new offering, even if it's only for 500 units or something like that? And then, of course, you have our buddies, the dealerships, who will absolutely rake people over the coals on this offering if they stick a Hellcat in it. You can imagine what the dealerships would do to people. Those are our friends just crushing us as enthusiasts, and I really hate that. And I would hope that if Dodge decided to make a car like that, that they would hold their dealerships accountable and really rein those guys in. It would be a lot of work. I know it's not easy, lots of factors at play, but Dodge would have to figure out something to rein in the dealerships and keep them in check, because it would be a nightmare trying to get one of those cars. I do realize it is all speculation at this point, but I do firmly believe in my heart that Dodge is at least considering this. Now, whether they move forward with it and bring it to fruition is a completely different thing. But I do feel like it would be really, really cool to see that. And if you could get your hands on one, how special would that be? Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys rock a Hellcat equipped 2025 Charger? If you guys could get a hold of one, let me know in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.